Welcome to the Prop Market. I'm your host, the Prop King, and today I have my 2025 NFL Week 2 player props and best bets. We are coming off a winning week, and we want to continue that here in the prop market. I will be your tour guide throughout the NFL football season and the college football season. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you enjoy NFL content, because I will be giving you part one, part two every single week. So much information. As I mentioned, we did come off a winning week, and it's very important to me to win because every pick that I make, I bet with my own money. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm not just out here making picks and not putting my money behind it. And I have two goals for you every single week. Number one goal, I want you to leave with more information than you came with. So I want you to learn something different. And that's my job, to give you some information that you don't already have. I'm not just going to go through a screen that you can pay for yourself. I'm going to give you some information that you maybe would have a harder time finding. And another thing, the other second thing that I want you to do is win. Of course, I want you to win. I want you to leave with some money. And if you follow my picks from week one, especially if you only bet the over under slash spread picks, those went 2 and 0. So you definitely cashed out. Last thing I'm going to say before I get started with my show today, I don't have a lot of promos. I don't have a lot of um, ads on my screens, just straight information. So if you enjoy that type of thing, that's what you're going to get here in the prop market. So go ahead and hit that like button, of course, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get to it. Don't want to waste too much of your time. Want to get this show going. We're going to go over last week's recap. Props went 6 for 4, 60%. 58% is profitable when you're talking about props picks. And then spread totals picks, we went 2 and 0 for 100%. Now, let's get to our winners. Justin Fields went over his fantasy score. It was an easy cash. Justin Herbert also went over his passing yards. Easy cash. Tua went under his passing yards. Easy cash. Bijan Robinson over his fantasy score. Another easy cash. Jaden Daniels was a nail biter. He went over his passing yards. Baker Mayfield, easy cash under his pass yards. Then we had the Dolphins versus the Colts under easy, and the Raiders versus the Patriots super easy cashes right there. So we cashed on both of those spread slash totals best bets. Now to the losers, Joe Flacco went over his number. Um, Lost the game, but went over his number. Dak Prescott did not hit his fantasy score. CeeDee Lamb dropped so many passes, hurt him, but we'll come back to that possibly in part two. Little cliffhanger there. Kyler Murray, he was at his fantasy score, one of the worst beats I've had in a long time. I think it was 18.5. He was at 18.38. It was super close, man. The way that game ended, just game script killed us. And then Brock Purdy, same thing. Threw a lot of passes at the end, got a lot of chunk yards, and he went over his passing yards, and I had him going under. So far, as I mentioned already, 6 for 4, 60%, only 1 week, 2 and 0 versus on our best bets at 100%. Now to my first pick, I got Jaden Daniels of the Commanders. 2020 average passing yards 231. Projected passing yards is at 233. He cashes over last game despite not playing good. So Jaden Daniels did not play very good, only 55 QBR, missed a lot of open throws. Didn't like the way he was playing against a Giants team. Maybe he was playing down to competition. I'm not too sure. But despite that, he still threw the ball 30 times despite having to lead the whole game. So that tells me one thing: the pace and just their overwhelming want to throw the ball is going to help us. It's very refreshing the way they run their offense, kind of similar to a college game. Um, get in the huddle, get out the huddle, don't even huddle, just let's get there and get going. Packers looked good versus the run last week versus the Lions. And so what that means is no running, even though they don't have a running back, they're going to even run even less because I don't like uh, the Commanders running game. So now you're dealing with the Packers who are good versus the run, even more passes. Another thing, he's cleared this number in 7 straight games. Very important. And also with him possibly playing from behind in 35 plus attempts with some really strong weapons, I think McLaurin has a breakout day. I absolutely love this man, over 224 passing yards for Jaden Daniels. Now going to Aaron Rodgers. Here's a guy fading this guy this week. Seahawks will play better versus the pass. I had them ranked in top five defense, and they definitely let me down. But projected passing yards is 215. Did not look good under pressure. So anytime the Jets brought any pressure on Aaron Rodgers, he pretty much folded like a lawn chair, which makes sense. I mean, he's not trying to take too many hits, but I think everyone saw that. I saw it, watching the game. So I know the Seahawks saw it. Look for them to bring a blitz a lot, put a lot of pressure on him, but also play a little bit of zone coverage behind it. He did have 44 yards, but I think that's definitely over his ceiling. It's going to be an anomaly in this season. The Steelers will make more of an effort to run the ball. Yes, they threw the ball a lot, but I can see them trying to run the ball a lot more. It wasn't effective. Mike Tomlin wants to play ball control, rely on the defense, and let's be honest, it's the best type of strategy to win. I don't think Aaron Rodgers sitting back there throwing the football is going to be a good thing. He went under this number 9 out of 17 games last year, and his original number was set at 212 passing yards, 212 passing yards. So what that means is we're getting a discount. It went all the way up to 225. I grabbed it there. If you were one of those people who want to wait, you could wait. I think it's going to go up even more. Give me the under 225.5 passing yards for Aaron Rodgers. Next pick I like a lot. Trevor Lawrence, 178 yards in his first game, projected passing yards 238. Here's the thing about Trevor Lawrence in that first game. Wasn't very aggressive because the Panthers defense is pretty much, I mean, offense is pretty much inept. But highest point total of the weekend at 49 points. This is very important. It is very, very important when you're talking about, betting. I always look at the point totals. I always look at the spreads. The high point totals mean that Vegas expects a lot of points here, and I expect it as well. I think the Bengals will have a bounce back game offensively. They only scored 17 last game. I see them really racking up the yards. The Bengals also have the worst pass defense in football. It ranked not the worst. I think it's the Ravens this week because of, what Josh Allen did to them. But this is the absolute worst pass defense in football. So Trevor Lawrence is getting a good matchup here. They also traded away a running back and have an offensive head coach. Cohen's is an offensive head coach. That's his background. That's what he knows. He's going to open up the playbook a little bit. Trevor Lawrence coming off a 61% completion game on 31 attempts. I think the attempts will stay there, but the completions will be higher. Really good weapons on the outside. Give me the over 230 passing yards for Trevor Lawrence. Next guy, Justin Fields, he cashed for us last show. He's going to cash for us again. 2025 pass plus rush yards is 266. I got him projected at 256. Here's the thing, he's the best running quarterback in the NFL, and I'm talking about with Lamar Jackson as well. Um, I don't see a situation where Buffalo's defense gets any better at stopping the run. You see, they were ranked last, dead last versus the run in week one. And that was with, Henry totally taking over. But Lamar Jackson ran anytime he wanted it to as well. Justin Fields is a good comp for him, although I think Justin Fields is actually a better runner. Lamar is bigger, but a better runner. So with Lamar having his way with his legs, I think Fields will be more aggressive with his legs. He will do a lot more running. Also, the game script sets up really well for Fields, over passing yards as well because he completed 73% of his passes. It's a 6.5 spread. So they're expecting the Jets to be down at the end of the game, which is going to cause a lot more pressure and more opportunity for Justin Fields to make plays. I absolutely love his over 242 pass plus rush yards. Look for his legs and his arm this week. Last pick is Jalen Hurts of the Eagles, 152 yards last week versus the Cowboys, 218 projected for this week. He wasn't relied upon doing a lot. But here's the thing about the Chiefs. Pass defense is ranked sixth worst in the NFL, while their run defense is at the almost top of the league. So they're definitely going to come in here. Number one is try to stop Saquon Barkley. Brown and Smith will get more involved. AJ Brown only got one opportunity, one target in the last game. I think it's going to be a lot more pass heavy. It was, if you remember the Super Bowl, he threw for 221 yards, a lot more pass heavy. They kind of opened up the game a little bit more and gave him an opportunity to make plays. As I said, when I picked Herbert last week, Same reason. I've seen the Chiefs defense not impressed in the preseason, and I'm still not impressed after week one. I think you can tear this secondary up. I think Hurts, although he's not been throwing the ball very well, so I do understand some people saying, I don't know about this one. I think he reverts back to the Super Bowl, but even better, give me his over 204 passing yards for Jalen Hurts. Now for two teams we picked last week, the Dolphins and the Patriots. Absolutely love this under 44. It's going to be a low scoring game. Patriots are going to, take the air out of the football, and the Dolphins, I don't believe in Tua yet. I think he's still seeing things that aren't there. I think he's still seeing ghosts. Those injuries are really starting to pile up for him. He struggled last week. I think he's going to struggle again this week. He may be on part two, so check that out. I absolutely love this under. Give me the under 44 for the Dolphins versus the Patriots. And now for my recap here for this week's show. 224 passing yards for Jaden Daniels over. Aaron Rodgers under 225 passing yards. Trevor Lawrence over 230 passing yards. Give me Justin Fields over 242 pass plus rush yards. And then Jalen Hurts over 204 passing yards. You see my confidence level right there, 2-2, 3-2-1. But I'm confident with all the picks because I'm gonna put my money on every single pick on the show. So I'm not giving you any duds. It's just my confidence level is higher with some over the others. Help me grow, of course. Leave a comment, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all those type of things. I will be your tour guide, as I mentioned earlier in the show. But if you could do me a favor in the comment section, beat up the comment section real quick for me with your favorite pick from part one. Just put their last name, Rogers, Hertz, Fields, Daniels, Lawrence, whichever one's your favorite, and then maybe why did I convince you to put your money behind it? I want to kind of like get an idea, a little research for myself. Of course, hit the like button if you cashed on any of my picks last week, or if you just appreciate the information that I'm giving you. Of course, new to the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And like I always say, keep what you like, leave what you don't, and let's cash.